Today on Pet Rescue, this bossy cockerel needs a new roost to rule, and Whizzer the goat gets a second chance. This is Snowdrop. She lives at the RSPCA Centre in Burton-on-Trent, which is just over 30 kilometres from Woodside in Leicester. Snowdrop is a very special kind of goat. She's a maiden nanny goat.
A maiden nanny goat is quite a rare goat that continually produces milk. She's never actually had a kid, even though she does still produce milk.
But the milk never goes to waste.
We use goat's milk for kittens, puppies, and we use the goat's milk because it is very nutritious and it's far better than cow's milk and milk that's been treated in other ways. We are very lucky to have Snowdrop with us, really. She produces a lot of milk in the summertime, which is very useful. So she is a godsend, really, to have around year after year.
Just recently, much of Snowdrop's milk has been lapped up by Whizzer, a little billy goat who arrived at the centre 2 months ago, when he was just 10 weeks old.
He'd been abandoned in someone's horse box. We had to feed him straight away with a bottle because he was unable to lap himself. Then, of course, he got more playful and his horns started to grow. But he's just been a lovable goat right from the first day we had him in. We haven't had a lot of goats in, so it was quite unusual for us to sort of have him here. He does actually live in this compound with the cockerels and he sorts them out, but he doesn't really hurt anything. He loves to sort of try and get in the hutches and join the rabbits and the guinea pigs. He really is a lovable little chap.
Although Pat loves Whizzer's company, it's now time to find him a permanent home.
We'd love to keep him here, but it wouldn't be fair on him. He does need other goats at the end of the day. Even though he does pester us and prevents us sort of doing our job as quickly as we usually get it done, we will be greatly missed because he's such fun actually to work with and have him around.
Pat has no experience of rehoming goats, so she calls her friend Hayley Kennington at Woodside to ask if she can find Whizzer a new home. Hayley is responsible for all the goats that come into Woodside. It's a job she adores.
I love having goats here, I really do. They're really enjoyable, full of character. They're really nice. I'd adopt him, I'd adopt any goat if I had the place to, and I haven't, so unfortunately at least I can look after them while they're here, you know, and I'm lucky in that respect. I'm sure a lot of people would like, you know, little animals like this, and I'm lucky to have it in my job, so I can't complain. Whilst Whiz is with us, we'll probably get him checked over by the vet and we'll get him wormed as well, and just basically keep an eye on him. He should be with us a couple of weeks until we find him a new home. At the last centre, Whiz was on goat's milk, which is great, just what he needs, but unfortunately we've not got a nanny here and it's not very easy to come by goat's milk, so we've had to put him on to lactol, which is a whelping food used for puppies.
Whizzer needs time to settle into his new surroundings, and Hayley shuts him away in his stable for the night. Join us later in the programme when she sets about finding him a new home.
We've been following the story of Springer Spaniel Purdy, who gave birth to 8 crossbreed puppies at the Ark 11 weeks ago. But the puppy unit has been closed to the public as it's been hit by a mystery virus brought in by a lurcher puppy who has now died. Many other puppies have fallen ill and staff are desperately concerned for Purdy's puppies' welfare.
We won't get the test results for about a week. And in that week is a likely time span where if these are going to get anything, they will. They all look so fit and healthy at the moment, and it would be absolutely soul destroying to lose them 8 weeks, having got them to 7.
But there's bad news. 2 of Purdy's puppies have caught the virus and have died.
No one as yet seems to know what this disease is. Sadly, we have lost 2 of Purdy's puppies, but the other 6 are now cleared and bouncing and healthy.
The test results come back inconclusive, but there have been no new cases, and staff at the centre are confident the Ark is now completely clear of it, so the puppies can be put up for rehoming.
They'd got to the point where you thought, oh well, they're going to be fine, because they were sort of fat and bouncy and 7 weeks old nearly. And then to have 2 die was quite soul destroying, really. Only having had 2 die, I think we were very lucky. So they're now up for homing. And as you can see, I'm having to do a bit of tarting up, really. And we are being very careful homing them. They're going to be so demanding because they're so lively.
It's been an uphill struggle for Helen and the rest of the staff at the Ark, who've looked after the puppies since the moment they were born. But their patience and dedication has its rewards. Now it's time for the pups to go up for rehoming. There's no shortage of potential owners. Honey quickly wins the hearts of the Ramsey family.
She's got an excellent temperament. She's full of beans. When she's been outside, she runs through the house and jumps on you if you're in the living room, like. And she likes giving you lots of kisses and cuddles.
I like when she runs about and that, because I'm really active as well.
Next to find a home is Patch.
She settled in quite quick, didn't she?
Yeah. And even the cats have started to accept her. Patch wants to chase them all the time. I think the cats think she's going to chase them to hurt them, and she's not going to chase them to hurt them. She's chasing them to play.
She knows that she's Michael's dog because he feeds her and he spoils her.
Gives her the most attention.
Michael will come in, she goes hectic and runs around the room and jumps on him, and she's more hectic than she is with anyone else when she sees Michael.
Vet Peter Heather arrives at the Ark to check on Purdy's 4 remaining puppies and give them the second part of their primary vaccination course.
They're now 12 weeks old. They had 1 vaccination at 9 weeks, so I figured it was probably time they had their second vaccination.
Okay, we'll give them a check over.
The 2 black ones especially look really well, her and this one.
Okay.
If you vaccinate and I distract the rest. Don't bite me. Oh, you big wuss.
There we go.
Oh dear, you've had a lot worse than that happened to you.
Just one down.
The pups are now fit and healthy. Slug, now known as Blackie, is the next of Purdy's pups to be adopted by Linda and Ron Kingshot. And it's not long before the 3 remaining puppies have found new homes too.
Earlier we met Whizzer, the abandoned billy goat who's just arrived at Woodside.
This is Whizzer's first day out today. I've kept him in for the afternoon and overnight just to get him used to the surroundings and the sounds of the dogs and so on. So, shall we go on a little adventure? Eh? Come on then. Come on. to get used to the dogs because, I mean, unfortunately we're very close to them and they really do create sometimes. I think he's getting on with the swans okay. He's a bit wary of them, living with the rabbits. I mean, he must have thought he was a rabbit for a time. Now he's got to adapt to being a swan, so, you know, I don't think he's too bad. He's keeping his distance, and I can't say I blame him. I mean, goats generally are herd animals. They like living in groups. So we need to put him in a home where there's going to be other goats around, to be fair to him. I mean, at the moment, this very moment, he's trying to make friends with the ducks and it's not working. I'm going to do a little bit of ringing round in the goat world to find a home for Whiz, but I have got a lady in mind, Sharon, who's had a goat off of us recently called Baby Sham. It's a lovely home and I think she'll absolutely adore him. Hey, you good boy? Yeah.
Regular viewers will know Sharon Eastlow and Rob Pearce, who've given homes to several goats from Woodside. Only 3 weeks ago, we saw them take in Baby Sham.
We've got a slight confession to make. We've actually changed Baby Sham's name. Rob kept calling him Champagne by mistake, getting a bit confused, so it sort of got to Champagne Charlie, and now we just call him Charlie. But he seems to respond to it all right.
But are they going to take on Whizzer?
Well, we only originally wanted 2, but we seem to have got another 2 and another 2, and we're up to 7 now, so I'll have to go and have a look at it. But
Sharon's got a lovely home, so I'm grooming him to make him look his best, because you really want to sell yourself, don't you, because it's a smashing place and I think he'll have a really nice life there. So let's make you look smart, eh? I think when Sharon sees him she'll go all gaga and starry-eyed. She usually does. Eh?
An hour later, Sharon and Rob arrive at Woodside to meet Whizzer.
oh, isn't he gorgeous? Hello. Oh, aren't you beautiful? Oh yeah, we're gonna have him. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, he is gorgeous. Hello. You knew we'd have him, didn't you?
I did, yes. He might be a little bit confused when he gets home because he's used to rabbits and swans, so not goats.
Not goats.
Not one of his kind, eh?
Who's this? Who's this? Oh, me
For the first time ever, Whizzer is introduced to other goats. Sharon has decided to break him in gently with the 2 smallest of the herd, Wesley and Midge.
This is why usually they say it's better to keep horned goats together and non-horned goats together, because you can see that when they're bunting and jumping and playing, obviously they've got an equal advantage if they've both got horns. But once they settle, it shouldn't be a problem with the others.
But it's obviously going to take some time for Whizzer to realise he really is a goat.
On Tuesday, we met Sally Walker, a volunteer who's been taken on full-time at Woodside whilst Kirsten is on maternity leave. There's lots to learn, but she's coping well.
Thank you.
I think Sally's settling in brilliantly, actually, because in such a short space of time, she already seems to be part of the team. I know she was a volunteer before, but yeah, she's absolutely superb.
This morning, Sally faces her biggest challenge yet.
I'm being trained on ID chipping today. My first time. I'm quite looking forward to it. I'm also nervous at the same time. It's going to be with the cats at the first time, so I can get the hang of doing it before I go on to the dogs.
All dogs and cats that are rehomed by the RSPCA are microchipped. This involves injecting a small electronic chip the size of a grain of rice under the skin in the neck.
I'm not going to make it too easy for you. Here he is.
Oh, a nice cat.
Hello, matey. Okay, there's a few important things that you have to remember when you're doing it. Okay, keep your face away from him. The first few times that you do it, make sure that there's somebody else in with you to hold him.
The microchip is injected through a special needle.
That bit there is
In most cases, it's no more painful than a vaccination. It's programmed with a unique code which is recorded against the owner's details, so if the animal strays and is scanned, its owners can be traced through the code in the chip.
It's quite scary the first time to do it. I'm just worried in case I do anything wrong or the ID chip will come out and we have to put the cat through it again. I'm scared of getting scratched.
You don't actually go for the scruff of the neck. You go for just between the shoulder blades. So you just feel the shoulder blades and pull the skin up. Okay, so then you just go in, press the lever, pull the needle straight out.
Twist and pull. Feel for the shoulder blades. Oh, this feels horrible.
That's it. Just push. Let go, then leave it and just take it straight out, and that's it.
Oh.
Roughly square.
Poor cat, eh? I'm sorry.
You're a good-looking guinea pig, though, aren't you?
Oh.
As you can see, it's not bothered him at all.
I'm really pleased that it's over and done with, and the second and third are not going to be as bad.
Although Sally's doing well, there's still a question mark over her future.
It's very, very difficult for Sally because she's taken over from Kirsten for the maternity leave, and it depends what Kirsten does. But you never know what's going to happen over the next few months, so we'll have to wait and see.
Sally's only been full-time at Woodside for a few days, but already she's fallen in love.
I saw Oscar one Sunday afternoon. I was helping Jason over the puppy block. I'd been looking for a dog for a while, and he just sat there in his cage, all legs and all nose, all pathetic, and I just fell for him straight away. I just felt so sorry for him. And he's here to stay now. He's my dog. He's a cuddle bum. He likes to be cuddled. He's lovely. He's mine, he's staying mine. I'm not giving him up.
Sally's really enjoying her work, and every day brings new challenges.
I'm learning a lot more now. I'm finally getting my confidence going. I'm handling the customers a lot more. I'm finding where things go. I've started to do paperwork. It's a lot better than my first week. I'm a lot more confident.
One of the things that came over in her interview more than anything else was how incredibly keen she was and what a long time she's waited in order to be able to work for us. So with that sort of background, we will do our utmost to make her dreams come true, shall we say.
I hope at the end of my 6-month contract that they will keep me on. I've got my fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that they do. I just have to wait and see.
We'll be seeing more of Sally and other staff and animals at Woodside later in the series.
Colin the cockerel is being cared for by the Scottish SPCA. Can you give him a home?
Colin's a little bantam cockerel. He came to the centre about 6 weeks ago. The lady that was his previous owner had 3 other cockerels as well as Colin, and they all started fighting, and Colin came off worst. He was bullied quite badly, and the woman felt that if she didn't remove Colin from the situation, then he would have probably been killed.
If you can give Colin a home, please call us on 0891 747474. The line is open until midnight. Remember, you must be over 18 to call. Leave your details on the answer machine and someone will contact you. Priority for rehoming will be given to people living in the local area.
Colin's a very bossy cockerel. He'll put you in your place when you come in the morning. He doesn't like his bed disturbed too much. When you're putting in fresh straw, he's always fussing around. When you lay it down, it isn't done properly. He'll smooth it out himself. Colin is very, very noisy. Every morning, 4 o'clock on the dot, you can set your alarm clock to him. He starts cock-a-doodle-doing, which is quite nice and a novelty at first, but if you were living with it every day, you have to understand cockerels to be able to put up with it. The ideal home for Colin would be on a farm or a small holding. I definitely don't think anyone with a prize garden should consider Colin, because he does root about, he digs up grass, he rolls about in the earth, and within a matter of days you wouldn't have much garden left.
Although Colin's daily maintenance will be relatively low, cockerels can live for 8 or more years, so he should not be taken on lightly. And because of the noise he makes at 4 AM, it's important his new home is far enough away from neighbours not to be a nuisance.
Colin has had a very tough start. He's been picked on, he's been bullied, he's been pecked, and now he really needs a home that's going to be a nice, quiet, tranquil setting for him. A bit of attention, a bit of love, and hopefully maybe a few bantam hens to keep him happy, and I'm sure whoever gets him will have a lot of pleasure from him.
If you can offer this bossy cockerel a new roost to rule, please call us now on 0891 747474.
Dan puts the cat among the pigeons in Roseanne next on 4 when his father's wedding brings anything but peace and harmony to the Connor household.
If you'd like to get more information about where and when we'll be filming the Pet Rescue Roadshow, you can call 0990 122288. Calls are charged at the national rate and lines are open until June the 20th.